On the Soviet-Finnish border, at the end of World War II, former Finnish commander Atami arrives with his truck and beloved dog. The guard checks his passport, and a couple of soldiers inspect his face in the dark. He enters the Soviet Union after having been deported because of the new border. He reaches his old home. His family was killed there by the ruthless Soviet soldiers. He enters, and it's all worn out, filled with dust. He finds the height stamps of his kids and wails out. He reaches their rooms, finds a family photo, and feels devastated. Meanwhile, in Siberia, Soviet Army officer Yeager is taken out of prison. The officer reminds him of his ruthless activities. He is the one who killed the Atami's family by chopping them into pieces. He says they were saving bullets. The officer tells him the identity of Atami, who deleted over 300 of their soldiers for revenge and became a legend. People call him immortal. They have got the news that he entered the Soviet Union 10 hours ago, and he must finish up his job by killing him as well. He can then go home a rich man. Atami decides to grab logs to take back home. He wants to create a new home there in memory of his family. It takes up to evening as he finishes up gathering and tying up the woods, burning the rest of them. He embarks on his return. In the morning, while still on the road, he gets stopped by a jeep. 2 Soviet soldiers come out, and he sees from behind that there's another car. The soldier checks his passport and takes it to the car behind. It's Yeager inside, and he identifies Atami. He instructs his soldiers to finish him. Atami anticipates the destruction. One of them slowly approaches with a Molotov. Another head to puncture his tire. He grabs the handle of the door. The other soldiers have their guns ready. As soon as the soldier approaches, he kicks out the door, and the bottle bursts, setting him on fire. He reverses, and the other one gets smashed, being thrown into the Yeager's car. Bullets are fired, but he grabs one of their guns and takes them inside. Yeager takes the other soldier in and continues following. Atami takes the gun from the hostage and struggles to fill up the reel. He asks him to do it instead. The truck then stops in front of a church as another army van is stopping the road. Yeager asks his partner to hold still. From inside Atami's car runs out the hostage, and thinking it's Atami, the soldiers shoot him down. Immediately, he shoots the soldiers down one by one. He comes out in vision, and Yeager again asks his partner to hold still, but once Atami punctures the tire, he moves, and he shoots him. Both of them catch a glimpse, and he returns to his truck to drive away. Yeager calls for more enforcement, and soldiers arrive on bikes. They begin to follow him. Soon enough, they catch up to Atami. As one of them reaches his window, he fires at him, but the helmets are bulletproof. The soldier brings his gun and shoots at him. It misses with a touch, but he loses track. However, he soon returns to the road, and the bikes are still behind him. Atami sees a bike falling and realizes they're over him. Before he shoots, he gets out and presses the brake to make him drop on the front. He hangs on and uses the hook to get up. Atami still manages to make him fall on the road. The other 2 bikes pass him by, but Yeager smashes him away. Atami sees a car parked and bangs it to make an explosion, slowing them down. One of the bikers grabs hold of the truck and reaches the seat to kick him out. He hangs on and snatches the other's gun away. He grabs an explosive from the other one, shoves it in the spikes, and blows him up. He then grabs hold of the hook and patches it with the head of the attacking soldier, making him fall on the road. He takes control again and pulls the rope, leading to his head chopped off. All the bikers are gone. Yeager throws a Molotov at the car, setting the woods on fire. But Atami throws away the soldier's body with the grenade set up at Yeager's car. Yeager jumps off before the car blasts. Atami then drives into the woods to get rid of the fire, and it works. Yeager calls more soldiers, asking for air strikes this time. Atami stops at the road to give his dog some water and puts the rest to cool off the engine. He lies down and brings out a chip of the bullet from his cheek. Soon, a couple of jets are seen. He takes his dog in and begins driving. The jets begin firing, and he drives into the field. He turns back to the road again as they are ahead and repeats the same for the next firing, driving himself into a barn. He quiets down there for some time, but soon realizes the outcome. The jets rush in, firing bombs, and he drives out of the exploding barn. The jets continue firing. He drives into the woods, and the firing has set his woods on fire once more. He drives on between the trees, and the jets are still above. The soldiers decide to go in with a tilt and begin rapid fire. Atami immediately presses the brake, making their wing break. The jet explodes. He drives off from among the fire. The trees end, and he stops just before, looking for the other jet. It's pretty quiet out, and he starts to drive again, unaware that it is a canyon, and the jet is merely hiding from his view. It quietly soars up, and he finally notices it. The jet takes a U-turn and rapidly heads from the front, firing vigorously. However, soon the bullets end, and the soldier decides to smash into the Jeep. He steers in and ejects himself. Atami immediately shoots one of the ropes behind, stops the car, making 3 logs fall before him away, leading the jet to fly off and explode. He then gets to put back the logs while the pilot lands on the ground. He shoots at him. Atami nonchalantly leaves the log and heads up to him, whose bullets have ended. But the soldiers suddenly begin grinning. He hears something. Apparently, another plane is approaching. He rushes and takes back the logs. He drives on, and the soldier bids him farewell with a smile until the jet begins dropping bombs already, exploding him. Atami drives off the cliff and drops into the water. The truck is being flooded. He helps his dog get some air and gradually opens the window to get out. However, he realizes he must take the logs and return to release the tie. But before getting out, he falls weak. The dog has gotten up, and soon, with the help of a log, Atami has been saved as well. The dog goes to check on him, and he regains consciousness. Yeager reaches the cliff and sees the remains of his soldiers. He has sent more into the sea to check for them. They inform that the truck was found, but they could not see any body. Yeager realizes the stubborn guy is still on his attempt to return to Finland. Atami has made himself a vessel with which he and his dog reach the shore, and there he sees an abandoned tank lying. At the Soviet border station, the soldiers are standing guard, awaiting Atami, who is settling up some explosives to drive the tank. Yeager is waiting along the border as well, and he realizes beforehand when Atami arrives. With the help of the explosives, Atami has driven the tank and approaches there, still along with the woods. Yeager sees him from far ahead with his binoculars. The soldiers aim their guns at him. He sets up another explosive and runs the engine once more, and this time the fire is leading to a bunch of bombs tied behind. The soldiers fire at him, but the tank is certainly not affected by that. He also brings out some gas. Yeager asks everyone to hold their position. The tank rapidly approaches the border and explodes right before, but it doesn't do much work since it flies off to the other side, harming no one but him. He instantly chops off the wooden handle of a knife. The soldiers have surrounded him. The dog gets out, followed by him. He is weak, and Yeager reaches to shoot him down, while a couple of car approaches with a bunch of officers. They say that they need him alive. Yeager drags him to them and knocks him out. Atami wakes up inside a cell where he is being beaten with a fiery whip. Soon, Yeager comes in and lets the soldier out. He says that he has killed so many women and children that he doesn't remember anyone in particular. He remembers the shouts and cries, but not the faces, except for one. It was a small boy, Atami's son. He tried so hard to protect the rest of the family. He got hold of a knife and almost removed his eye. He shows him the height stamps, making Atami boil in rage and pain. Yeager says they chopped them into pieces with an iron shovel. He adds that people are saying he lit a fire in him, but he will put it out himself. They are taking him to a place where they will beat him out of all the memories, and he will learn that Siberia is a very bad place to be immortal. He then leaves as Atami screams in anger. After he leaves, he fiercely lifts himself and places his feet on the beat to break the force of the tie ring. He uses all his power, and his sheer anger helps him break loose. He is inside a train. 2 soldiers outside hear the thud and see him lying on the floor. They are already scared. Atami slowly gets up. The soldiers play rock paper to decide who is going in. The loser takes the key. Meanwhile, the knife that Atami broke the handle off has remained hidden inside his skin. He brings it out now. Seeing the soldier faltering to open the door, the other one takes charge. He opens the lock and gets in. He holds the gun over lying Atami, approaching him slowly. The soldier outside anticipates for a horror and soon hears gunshots. He shivers and opens the lid. The other soldier's face is visible, who, when asked if everything is okay, nods. He then opens the lock to head in, but was merely his torn body. Alive, Atami gets out. In fear, the soldier jumps off the running train. Atami now prepares the gun and equips himself for his ultimate revenge. The officers are at the table, laughing and chatting. Yeager tells the head officer that if he can give him the things promised, he will head his own way. The officer says in an intimidating tone they will get that in time, but first, they must celebrate. They raise a shot in his name, but Yeager is not having it. The train keeps moving fast. Atami grabs a sickle and slowly heads to the next coach. The soldiers are deep asleep. He tiptoes in and feels one of them is on the verge of waking up, but doesn't. He continues walking slowly, passing by their hanging hands. However, just at the last moment, a soldier wakes up and he quickly gets out. He looks back and sees he is coming. He heads to the next coach before the soldier gets out. Once again, there are a bunch of sleeping soldiers. He tiptoes, but someone approaches from the other side. Even before a second passes, he throws the sickle, shoving it into his mouth. On his side, he sees a soldier has woken up. He shuts off his bed and stabs him multiple times, making his screams muffled. Then again, he slowly heads on, while the dead soldier's blood drops on the bed under him. Also, another soldier, in his deep sleep, drops his bottle. Nobody wakes up yet. He continues while the soldier with blood droplets on his face begins to wake up. Atami realizes it and immediately lies down. He helplessly drops on the broken glass and rolls down under a bed, shrieking in pain. He gets rid of the glasses while the dead body falls over and everyone is awakened. However, Atami gets out safely. He opens the lid of the next coach and sees that the soldiers there are armed. He lifts himself up to the roof. He continues walking, but the train passes through a pipe that yeets him off and drops him into that very coach. All the soldiers, first shocked, instantly take charge and shoot. He uses the pipe to direct the bullet to another, grabs one's gun, and begins shooting. He takes one of them as a shield while the other soldiers continue shooting at him. After a while, since it's all quiet, they stop. But just then, Atami, who has already grabbed a couple of guns, fires rapidly at them, brutally finishing them all off. While the officers are busy drinking, Yeager senses the collision. Atami finishes up the rest of the soldiers as well. Yeager walks out to check. He gets out of his coach and unbuckles the screw, leaving the remains of the train. After finishing off the rest of them, Atami gets out to see that Yeager has split the train and is leaving fast. Atami looks to his side and sees a huge missile. Yeager returns to the table and, in a bullet pace, stabs the officer near him. He chokes, and everyone thinks he has eaten too much. But as soon as blood oozes out, Yeager shoots off the soldiers one by one, keeping the head officer alive. The officer then brings out a suitcase, opens it, and shows that all the money is his. He then lowers his gun, reliving the officer, but only to get a shotgun out and finish him off. Yeager then takes a shot in peace. The soldiers, who have woken up, have come to the coach where the battle occurred and see the massacred bodies. They get out to see Atami has lit up the missile, and they immediately get burned off. With the help of the missile, he has taken the portion of the coach to drive off. Yeager laughs, seeing all the money, while the lights begin to flicker. He turns back and soon realizes who is coming. Atami is hurriedly approaching the coach. The two coaches bang, and he smashes the doors to head straight into his dwelling, pinning him down, and begin with some punches. Yeager throws him off, but Atami smashes a bottle on his head. A robust fight breaks out between them. Yeager shoves him behind a table and delivers some kicks, making him fall weak. Yeager falls back, grabs a suitcase, and tries to walk away. But Atami gets up again and attacks him. Yeager waterboards him into the sink. Atami grabs hold of a fork and stabs him. Yeager once more grabs hold of him and, with a rod, begins hitting him. He hits him brutally, and Atami falls gravely injured. Yeager asks him if that was his revenge. He goes away, saying he thought it would be more legendary. He grabs a shovel and strikes him out aside the rocket. The missile is still intact with the bolts. Yeager slowly heads up to him and stands nonchalantly, asking if he has any last words he should spit out. He stares at him for some time and spits the bolt that was holding the missile. The missile slowly gets loose of the hold and charges in. Yeager runs back, and the missile, having been going inside the train, slows down. It stops just a few inches before his face. Atami stops his open coach, and from far ahead, the burning missile is still seen. Yeager sees that it has stopped and feels relieved, but charges again and tears his face to finally burst off the whole train. Atami faces the impact and stares with wrath. On the finished border over the rail tracks, two soldiers hear the explosions. In fear, they prepare themselves with guns. They see Atami approaching on a manual coach with logs. They keep their guns pointed as he gets nearer. He shows them his passport, and as soon as they see it, they realize who that is. They salute him instantly. Back in Finland, Atami is finishing off what he meant to creating the house. His dog is there well and good. Soon, a few men are seen coming with axes and sickles. Seeing them, Atami immediately gets down and takes his own arm to prepare for a battle. The men get closer, and he is ready to attack, while they say that they came here thinking he might need some help. Atami is bewildered. His expression changes, and he drops the weapon, getting teary-eyed. Seeing his face, the man gets the answer and starts to work, asking the others to barge in as well. They follow, and Atami feels loved after ages. You were watching the recap of the 2025 movie Sisu, Road to Revenge. For more latest movie recaps, stay subscribed to the channel, and if you have liked this video, you may also like this.